Support for this NPR podcast and the following message come from Carvana. Selling your car? Carvana has offers so good, they're almost inexplicable. Sell your car 100% online in minutes. Visit Carvana.com today.
Have you ever had a moment where you're like, okay, I'm being a baby woman and I need to grow up a little bit right now?
Oh, 110%. Like those memes that are like, oh yeah, me at 28, versus my parents at 28 having a mortgage and 3 kids. Meanwhile, it's just like, doom scrolling, on the phone. And so yeah, I am guilty of it sometimes, but I try not to make it a lifestyle.
Oh, I like that. Trying to make it a lifestyle. Okay, what about you, Shannon?
I also can be very guilty of baby womanhood. To reference another meme, I often fear the one that's like, oh my God, you people can't do anything.
I get like that, like clockwork every tax season. Cue the breakdown. I'm just like, help me. I can't do it. But baby woman, it's a term coined in a piece for The Cut by one of our wonderful guests here, freelance writer Shannon Keating, to describe a particular kind of affect that some women have, at least some of the time. Shannon, in your own words, what is a baby woman? Like, how would you describe her?
I think of the baby woman as kind of like the evil twin of the girl boss.
It's her Wario.
Yes, it is her Wario. And I think baby womanhood is the complete opposite of the girl boss in that it's saying, I do not want any of these responsibilities. Just take them away. Someone else do it.
It's not just like a girlishness, but some abdication of adult responsibility.
Yes.
When I read Shannon's piece about it in The Cut, I was like, yes, I have totally seen women who are like that in my life and also out in the world. And I wanted to get deeper into it because truly this way of being really boggles my mind. But I also wanted to know, what pushes women into baby womanhood? And what exactly do baby women get out of being baby? To find out, I am joined, of course, by Shannon Keating. Welcome back, Shannon.
Thank you so much for having me, Brittany. I am so happy to be back.
Happy to have you. And I'm also joined by Ashley Reese, culture writer and critic and author of the Substack newsletter Bad Brain. Welcome back to you too, Ashley.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hello, hello. I'm Brittany Luce, and you're listening to It's Been a Minute from NPR, a show about what's going on in culture and why it doesn't happen by accident. Oh my gosh. Okay, so first of all, can we get some examples of baby womanhood? Like name names. Who are the baby women that people might know of?
One of the ones that Shannon referenced in her article that definitely comes up for a millennial of a certain age is definitely Lena Dunham's character from Girls.
Hannah Horvath.
Hannah.
The character just so perfectly encapsulates the double-sided coin of that, ambition, whether you call it, girl bossery or not, that Lena Dunham, and in some ways her character that she played, Hannah Horvath, dared to believe in her own ambition as a very young woman, in her early 20s. Mm-hmm. But then on the flip side, was extremely frightened of having all of these big adult responsibilities. I think that the girl boss and baby woman is just constantly fighting in both Lena, the real person, and in her character.
Another famous baby woman I have in mind, God bless her. I have to say, I'm a huge fan of her music. I adore this woman.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Ariana Grande is a baby woman. It is alleged that she has broken up several relationships in her dating life. Most notably, she began a public relationship with Ethan Slater, her co-star from the Wicked films, which there's been a lot of speculation online about timeline, but they left their respective spouses during the filming of those movies and then publicly started dating each other. And then, there's a lot of crying that she was doing during the Wicked press tour. When all of this sort of other woman narrative was arising at the same time, then she's speaking in a very high-pitched voice and she's crying and she's wearing big sweaters and she's kind of even appearing to look more and more like a baby. And again, I say this as she's one of my most listened to artists of all time. It pains me to say, but if you love, you have to call them in. Her public persona became more and more baby-like. as all of these narratives were popping up around her being something of a quote unquote homewrecker. Not exactly what I would say, but that narrative was definitely out there.
That's a great example. The homewreckerness of it all reminds me of one of the other subjects I touched upon in my story, which is Amanda from Summer House.
Ah, yes.
Who just caused a gigantic Bravo scandal by sleeping with one of her close friends' most complicated and emotionally fraught exes and like starting a relationship with him. And in the like Summer House finale, she just really was not taking responsibility for making the decision to be with this man. I think that's very much a baby womanhood kind of thing where it's just like, it just happened to me.
It happened, yeah.
And you still did it. You chose to do it.
Okay,
you
but guess what?
doing
Sometimes
it, and
you
were
can't
hiding
help
it from,
who you like and who you are attracted to. That was
you actually can't help it.
It takes two to tango. So
it takes two grown-ups to tango.
It does take two grown-ups
It takes
to
two
tango.
grown-ups
And
to tango.
But I think it's a very young and naive and self-infantilizing perspective to be like, well, I had no choice in the matter.
I think you can kind of get away with that up to a certain age, you know? When you are like 30, you've been a public figure for a long time. Like when you're really grown, when you're like dealing with, you know, either the feelings of a close friend or someone's marriage, then like sometimes you just gotta own up to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that, you know, you deserve to be stoned or like publicly shunned, but sometimes you just gotta face the music. And facing the music, I feel like, is like the opposite of what a baby woman wants to do. I wonder, where else do you see baby womanhood in culture? Ashley, you were saying earlier that like it's something that you see kind of pop up randomly online.
Oh yeah, and I've seen this idea that like everything that you express emotionally or like think that being fearful or something, whatever, should not be challenged at all. The thing that I saw that was the most alarming for me is a few weeks ago there was this big dust up on Twitter about, or X if you want to call it that, about women getting pap smears. The whole controversy was this idea of like, well, if this is scary to me and if I find the process like deeply alarming and potentially painful, it's okay to be scared of getting pap smears, so don't get them. And because I often step into it, I said something to the effect of like, oh no, I understand that it's scary, but we gotta grow up. You need to talk to your doctor about how if something is painful, if you can have a different size speculum, if you can have plastic instead of metal. Like, I don't think that it's actually good girl power or good womanhood or good feminism to just accept someone like, oh, if a woman's scared of something, that's valid and we shouldn't question it.
The main reason why we're getting them is like for health reasons, cancer prevention.
Right.
It's not comfortable and like not exactly what you'd want to do like on your birthday, but that doesn't mean that just because it's uncomfortable or unpleasant that you should be somehow excused from it without like having to deal with any sort of consequences.
And from judgment.
And it's kind of this idea of like, sometimes one of the most annoying parts of growing up and living in a world that's just not going to always be accommodating to our feelings or to our emotions or even to some of our other things about, like, I have ADHD. I have to deal with the accommodations and lack of accommodations with that all the time. That doesn't mean that because of that, I just can't pay my bills or that I just can't go to the doctor or just do anything that makes me uncomfortable. And I think that also kind of ties into the baby woman thing of like this idea of constant comfort.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ashley, because I also have ADHD.
Me too.
I think that like the neurodivergence of it all is a very interesting and very kind of complicated layer to baby womanhood and to like adult immaturity in general, especially when you see that online. I think it's a huge part of how people tend to abdicate responsibility, as Brittany said earlier, for so many things in their lives. And I've been totally guilty of it as well. The times in my life where I have been the biggest baby, which had negative consequences for myself and everyone around me, was because I was really indulging the fact where it's like, oh, but I'm depressed, I'm anxious, the world isn't built for me and my particular like brain and my particular emotional state. Why shouldn't I just be able to just like opt out and like not deal with having to be a part of the adult universe? It's tricky because it's like also like, yes, we deserve accommodations.
We all do, yeah.
And grace from each other. But at what point does your mental illness end and your own agency to take care of your own life begin. It's a very hard and tricky balance, I think I've found in my own life.
Agreed.
We're going to take a quick break, but first, if you're a longtime listener or brand new to It's Been a Minute, be sure to come back every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for brand new episodes. And did you know you can make it even easier to get new episodes by hitting the follow or subscribe button on your favorite podcast app? Whether you're a new friend or a loyal bestie, join the team by subscribing today. Coming up after the break,
we expect it from men. The bar is so low for men. And in that way, I can see why for so many women it is the fantasy to be cared for, because it's not necessarily the expectation.
Stick around.
This message comes from BetterHelp. One of the hardest parts about starting therapy? Not knowing what to expect. Instead of listening to an ad, hear from the people who've actually been there. Visit BetterHelp.com/reviews to explore real client reviews that are updated every day. With an average live therapy session rating of 4.9 out of 5, based on more than 1.7 million client session reviews, the feedback speaks for itself. Visit BetterHelp.com/reviews.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Carvana. Carvana makes car buying easy, 100% online, prices down to the penny, delivered to your door. Why make car buying hard when it could be easy? Visit Carvana.com today. Terms may apply. This message comes from Progressive Insurance. You're listening to this podcast, so you've got a curious mind. Did you know that drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average? Visit Progressive.com and get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who save with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary. This message comes from Audible. Manifestos are a call to action, an artful scream. They capture people's anger and try to do something with it. Dan Taberski's Manifesto is a podcast that attempts to take the manifesto back from mass shooters and nihilists and return it to its rightful place, with regular folks with just the right amount of crazy. Listen to Dan Taberski's Manifesto wherever you get your podcasts, or binge the entire series right now, only with Audible.
I feel like another piece of this that we can't not talk about is just like the very viral, shockingly to me, very viral phrase, "I'm just a girl." Or like people saying this is girlhood. Mm-hmm. And I see it about everything. They're like, when you go out to dinner with your friend and you have martinis and you laugh together, this is girlhood. And I'm like, well, no, I wasn't actually having martinis and laughing together with my friends at 7. That's not girlhood for me necessarily, actually. I see people my age doing this. I'm almost 40 years old. And I see people my age and older sometimes talking about this is girlhood. And I'm like, snap out of it. Mm-hmm. We didn't have Sex in the City on when I was in middle school. For us to grow up and have these beautiful sort of like adult moments of connection with other women, and then like want to look at that through like sort of a girlish lens. But also, I don't know. To me, there's also something kind of like weird and sick and like gender essentialist going on at the heart of that too.
Yeah. What's wrong with being a woman? Like being a grown woman? I think it really speaks to a very dark and misogynist time that we're living in, where girlhood is fetishized and that women are supposed to only have value when we're young. I mean, even like prepubescent. Like my original draft of my story got like quite dark, and I was getting into like the Epstein of it all, and my editor was like, okay, I think we can like pull it back a little bit.
But culturally, that is a specter in the back of a lot of our minds right now.
Yeah, yes.
I've even bristled at the term like girl's girl, which I've, heard pop up so much in the last few years. I'm just like, what are we talking about here? But sometimes I have like a little bit of empathy for it in some contexts. God, like cost of living is awful. So many people are older and living at home still because that is more financially stable than like trying to go out on their own and like get an apartment and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There is a level of like things are just not stable the way they were, a couple generations ago for a certain type of woman. But at the same time, it is kind of like okay, so now what do we do? Do we just revel in this kind of situation where the economy is the way it is and this, that, or the other? Or do we just try to get a sense of agency in it because we're grown women and we can do that?
Yeah.
Like Ashley was saying, like we've really been not to be dramatic, but kind of like robbed of a lot of traditional markers of adulthood. You know, buying a house, and a lot of us feel like we can't afford to have children of our own. Baby womanhood can maybe come in part where it's like, well, if I'm not having the baby, like, can I be the baby? The complications of navigating that can invite baby womanhood, in that things can be so difficult that you just kind of want to like be like, all right, I'm done. You do see all these girls online who are like glamorizing, I don't have to work, like I married an older man,
or stay-at-home girlfriends,
or like,
which woof.
Yeah,
slippery slope, sister. It's a slippery slope. Yeah.
When I was researching my story and like looking for just a girl stuff, like on TikTok, so much of it would be like, oh, I'm just a girl, I like, you know, crash my car, or like oops, like, or like people having like their dads or their boyfriends driving them around, doing everything for them. I don't know, we're very much living in a time where the stuff that we've fought so hard for as independent women is now being painted in a, you know, very negative light. Women working and making money for ourselves. It's like, oh, there's this temptation where it's like, what if I didn't have to, and someone else could make all the money? And then of course, you know, not showing the side where, what if the guy leaves you and then you have nothing?
So when I looked at the Instagram comments for this story from The Cut that you did, Shannon, a lot of the commentary was like, this was like, yeah, you can do that if you're like a white woman, you can do this. I do think it's a fair critique of people to be like, this is more something that white women, especially white women who have a certain kind of income level or like safety net, can get away with.
Totally.
But I also think that the fantasy of this is not bound to white women of a certain economic category. Whether you can play it out is different. But the fantasy of it, I've seen from every demographic you can think of.
But that makes me wonder, like, what benefits might baby women get out of being baby women?
I think there's a few things. Like, it means not having to worry about certain responsibilities, you know, not having to hustle necessarily. And of course, this is all contingent on when you do have the support of another adult. Because the thing is that if you do abdicate responsibility, someone might walk away. That's the thing. But when you do have it,
right?
Like Amanda in Summer House, like, has this clip from the last season where she's like, I don't worry about the money. Like, Kyle worries about the money. Like, I'm just the artist. Like, I just do the art. Like, I get to draw.
Yeah, I mean, like, basically, if you act like a baby because you need help, or you feel that you need help, you might genuinely get other people to do things for you.
I think that my closest kind of feeling to baby woman or whatever was when I wanted to completely check out after my husband got sick and died. I wanted to check out so much that it was kind of easy to fall into these kind of patterns that can be kind of associated with like, I'm just a baby, I'm just a girl, like almost like a safety blanket.
Yeah.
As like a security thing after so much stress. So it is something you can regress into also, I think. There's an aspect of it where like I did need people to like kind of help me do mundane things around the house. Like even like I mail piled up. Grief was able to kind of like put me into this kind of feeling of like, I don't know what to do. Like, someone please help me. Someone please be the adult here for me after I was the grown up for so long.
Yeah.
There can be something comforting about that to just kind of like have that assistance. But the idea of kind of living in that constant state terrifies me. You know how many things I've had to do with my car since my husband died that I've had to like learn?
Lord.
He was from Western New York. He knew what to do when like it snowed and he can like get all the snow out the car. I'm from California living in New York. And now I have to like figure out how to like get the snow off like the ice off my car. Like I just had to do it. I had to step up. And I couldn't just be like, I don't know what to do, guys. Like I couldn't just have my dad fly out from California to help me with the car. I had to learn these things on my own. I had to step up. When I see some of this in other people, I'm just like, come on, you guys, we can like support other women by like admitting that there are certain things that are like not accommodating to us or that things that are scary. But I don't think I'm not even going to talk about girlhood. We're talking about women. Womanhood, and like good womanhood to me is not enabling other people's fears and like lack of action. Go tell your doctor if that pap smear hurts. Go do that thing you have to do with the car. I don't think that just enabling people being like, oh, it's okay, girl, we all feel like that is like, that's not good feminism to me either. Like, what are we doing?
Something I want to touch on we haven't really chatted too much about men here. I mean, men can also act like babies. Men can also abdicate a lot of responsibility and receive social, like social support in doing so. Like, it's kind of an expectation, but we might call that kind of like learned helplessness, right?
Yes.
Do you think baby men look different from baby women?
I mean, I think you said it exactly. Is that we expect it from men. The bar is so low for men, as Ashley was beautifully pointing out about how sometimes we do need care from each other. You know, the answer is not necessarily that we're all going to be completely independent ice women, but I think the way a lot of straight women experience in their relationships is that men often don't step up. You know, you hear that the bar is still on the floor for like fathers.
Like, how do I mop the floor? How do I change my baby's diaper? It's like, the internet's been around since I was in elementary school. We never figured that out yet.
Mm-hmm. And in that way, I can see why for so many women it is the fantasy to be cared for, because it's not necessarily the expectation for a lot of men to step up and to do a lot of that work that's kind of more like invisible, or, you know, like the domestic labor. Yeah, men's immaturity, I think, is just the default. It's expected.
I think there are some things that we do expect men to have a handle on in terms of like, especially like finances and things like that. Not to be like, not to defend the men. I do think there are things that are expected of them. But then you'll see something like a woman being like, look at how my husband loaded the dishwasher. And I'm just kind of like, who raised it? Like, was he raised in a barn? Like, I don't think either gender is exempt from displaying what I often like to refer to just as arrested development. But I do think that we see more humor in it. Some people can see more humor in it from men, or we're societally supposed to see more humor in it when a man is incompetent. It's a tricky balance. I understand the urge to want to check out. That life is hard. When it becomes like a part of your personality and your persona to be like an incompetent adult, I think that's when it's like we got to be real about like that's not actually very charming.
Like, what do you think of the prolonged effects of baby womaning? Like, both for the individual and also like at a cultural level?
I think that it's ultimately just kind of corrosive to your sense of freedom as a human being. And I think it can be destructive to yourself, but to other people around you. I think in my biggest throes of baby womanhood, like, I was not a very good partner, you know, to my wife. Like, I wasn't a very good friend. Like, I think it's a very individualistic response to the world. It's, I'm just gonna, you know, crawl up into my own little ball and protect myself. You're denying yourself the thing that actually taking responsibility for yourself and for other people, caring for yourself and for other people. I mean, I think that's literally like the stuff of life. Like, I think that's kind of what it's all about. And you're missing out on that.
When you kind of decide that you just don't have it in you to do one thing, it's really easy to slippery slope into like, well, this is also hard. But I think that there's nothing scarier than being so convinced that there's no even point of having agency, or that you have no agency, that you just don't do anything about it or even try to put things in your favor, or, you know, try to make something feel more equitable, or try to make something, you know, go your way. It's this learned helplessness that, again, it's not just men, it's also women, it's also baby women, it's also, you know, it's everyone. I'm just like, that's a consequence. You have life go by you. Yeah. I think there's something about taking life by, you know, the horns that we need to all embrace, even when it's hard.
What do they say? Like, stop being a tree and leave, or whatever. Like, you're not planted in someplace. Oh my gosh, Shannon, Ashley, thank you both so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. It's great talk, Brittany. Thanks.
That was freelance writer Shannon Keating and Ashley Reese, culture writer, critic, and author of the Substack newsletter Bad Brain. This episode of It's Been a Minute was produced by
Liam McBain.
This episode was edited by
Nina Patak.
Engineering support came from
Simon Laszlo Jansen.
Our supervising producer is
Cher Vincent.
Our executive producer is
Barton Girdwood.
Our VP of programming is
Yolanda Sanguini.
All right, that's all for this episode of It's Been a Minute from NPR. I'm Brittany Luce. Talk soon.
This message comes from Odoo. Running a business shouldn't feel like surviving a software group project. One app for accounting, another for sales, and somehow none of them talk to each other. That's where Odoo comes in, an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together. And best of all, no spreadsheets. Start managing your business with one unified system. Try for free today at odoo.com/NPR podcast. That's odoo.com/NPR podcast. This message comes from Schwab. At Schwab, you can get everything from self-directed investing to full-service wealth management, all in one place. No matter your investing goal, life stage, amount to invest, or know-how, you can invest your way with Schwab. This message comes from IXL. IXL provides personalized learning and powerful insights that help teachers boost achievement and understand student progress in real time. Learn more at ixl.com/NPR.